so much for the time tonight. I come before you tonight to address SB49, also known as the Parents' Bill of Rights. Many of the rights enumerated in the bill are already established in state and federal law. Similarly, the bill's prohibition of instruction on sexual orientation and gender identity in the K-4 curriculum is redundant. Sexual orientation and gender identity are not part of the K-4 curriculum to the extent new rights are provided. They open new avenues for bad actors to tie up school district operations and resources by filing frivolous requests for information and objections to instructional materials. While parental involvement in the lives of their children is critically important, the reality is that fewer than 40% of LGBTQ+ youth live in homes that are affirming of their identities. Regardless of its intention, this bill could create dangerous environments for the young people who may not have families who are willing or ready to provide the support they need. North Carolina Senate Bill 49, better known as the Parents' Bill of Rights, threatens to violate students' rights to an equal education free from discrimination and could create school environments that are hostile and unsafe for certain students. These are all realities that we as a society must face. For example, if my child were to say that he wanted to be called something differently, would that trigger some sort of protocol at the school currently, or does that trigger some sort of phone conversation, or what happens when that happens? So if my son also were to tell his teacher that he wished to use different pronouns than what he's currently using, is there a certain protocol that we currently have in place that would trigger a frivolous call, letter, or meeting to gain my consent for this? Additionally, if a child were in the K-4 age group and mentioned that they missed their moms or their dads, being plural, indicating a homosexual relationship, how is this currently being handled with regards to SB49? Perhaps other students will question this or seek out more information on the topic out of their own natural curiosity. Therefore, what is to be done to handle such a situation? Do we discourage the children from learning more about the world that they will inevitably enter? Or do we lie to them and tell them that they misunderstood the child who said that they had two moms or two dads? Or do we just simply pretend that this familial relationship is non-existent in our world? How have Ashe County schools chosen to implement this discriminatory and redundant set of statutes entitled the Parental Bill of Rights? It has not been mentioned recently, and I sincerely would like to better understand how our schools are handling this recently passed legislation. On a secondary note, I would like to be heard regarding the lack of a vote for the renaming of the Ashe County High School football stadium. There was a lack of discussion regarding pros and cons. There was a lack of courage to voice a second to the motion for a vote. There is an abundance of speculation concerning the community of why this occurred this way. But the reality is, regardless of how you plan to vote or how you felt about it, the least you could have done and offered was an actual vote and some discussion. The school board serves as elected officials that are supposed to represent the will of the public. However, that is not what I witnessed at the September meeting. I witnessed a school board that was avoiding the accountability to the people they were elected to represent. The public made a large public outpour of support for this move to rename the stadium and/or football field after a dedicated teacher and coach. I never had Tom Roberts as a coach or a teacher, but he still radiated energy like no other. I believe we should have a formal vote regarding this issue.